are the 1-1 Commanders in trouble?
I don't think they're in trouble right now, but you go down if they go 1-2 because Jayden can't play. I think the biggest concern for me, if I'm the Commanders, is this is his second year. His second year, he's taking a hit, and I know you're probably going to expound on it, Nick. But he runs so much and he takes some shots, and even if he can play, if he's limited, like last year he played through it, but he had that stretch where he was limited. So that would be a concern. Look, offensively, I mean, I think they're fine, but they haven't gotten McLaurin going, so you expect that to pick up. They haven't gotten their run game outside of Jayden going, and now Eckler, is on IR. So there's some concerns there. I didn't think they were a top-tier Super Bowl contender this year anyway. I think they're a contender, but I think there's a few teams ahead of them, and they kind of look like I've expected from them.
Yeah, so going into the season, my concern is them being the oldest team in the league, that there's an injury problem, or could be an injury problem. That usually happens around mid-season with older teams. But what's happened with these guys is Jayden's hurt, but they've also lost 2 starters to season-ending injuries. They've got 3 other guys that are going to miss time. Last year, all season, they had 1 starter miss a total of 9 games.
They were the healthiest team.
Yeah, so they're incredibly healthy, and already is completely done. 3 guys that are going to miss time. Jayden, we don't know where he is, and this is still an older team. So as the games stack up, odds are that number is going to increase, not decrease. So that's problematic. That's a concern.
Yeah. The Thursday night was brutal for him, man. They lost Wise for the year. They lost Eckler definitely for the year, and Jayden got banged up. And listen, the least, as far as if people think like our takes are thought out by like what's the best strategy for TV, the worst strategic take is I think this player is really good, but I don't trust he's going to be healthy long term, because if you're proven right, you don't get to be like, I told you so. And so, but my concerns about Jayden's frame, particularly married with his style, is those exist. And last year, to Brew's point, the only part of the year he wasn't brilliant was when his ribs were banged up, where he now didn't get through 2 weeks of this year without a knee sprain. Again, the knee sprain might have nothing to do with his frame, but it certainly could have something to do with his style.
And even if he was a little heavier, it's not like...
Well, I don't know, Coach. Coach, I'm telling you right now, if you and I both get tackled by the same force, I think you handle it better than me.
Okay. Listen. I want Jaden Daniels to protect himself. I made a whole video talking about that. I've been talking about that since last year. I've been talking about that since before he ever entered the league. And I told him that he needs to follow in the footsteps of a Patrick Mahomes, which apparently is controversial for some bizarre reason. But here's the reality. Joe Burrow, not a slender frame, injured. Brock Purdy, not a slender frame, injured. Justin Fields, pretty big and strong, injured. J.J. McCarthy, injured. Like, this is what happens to essentially all quarterbacks except for, like, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I feel like they've been the healthiest quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts, injured, concussed multiple times. Like, to try to pretend, Saquon Barkley can squat 10,000 pounds, right? Like, Jalen Hurts can also squat 10,000 pounds. Like, both banged up, both injured. Christian McCaffrey takes pristine care of his body. Pristine care. Does everything. Modern science, old age, old age wisdom from the east and the west and the south and the north, going all over the world to figure out the best ways to preserve your body. Still banged up all the time. So sometimes it happens to you, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you're injury prone, sometimes you're not. But you definitely do, as a quarterback, have to be smart and strategic about the contact that you take and the hits that you take. Nothing makes me cringe more than a quarterback who's getting beat up in a game that you're clearly going to lose or that you're clearly going to win. It's like, why? You're down by 14 with 2 minutes to go, and you just took a shot now. Or you're up by 20, you're clearly in complete control of this game. There's no reason for you to now be taking all these hits, right? And Jaden Daniels does take hits, which again, for some reason, there's like a a percentage of either Jaden fans or Commanders fans that try to push back on that, and it's just doesn't make any sense. He's been taking hits since college. I mean, just go look up the highlight reel of him just getting wrecked in college. Like it's like uncomfortable at times because you're just like, oh my god, this guy's head's gonna pop off right now. I saw one hit. I still have it in my mind. I don't know when it was, where it was, why it was, how it was, but it was in college, and it was just like him going one direction, the defender going the other direction, and it just boom. I mean, like it was literally like a cartoon, and you were just like, oh my god. And it's just like it's tough. And I'm not acting like he's taking all these hits nonstop all day, every day in the NFL, because that's not the case either. But you got to be smart. You got to be smart. As Tom Brady got older, he took a lot more hits when he was younger, but as he got older, he was really smart about the type of hits that he took, and he wasn't even a mobile quarterback. And so you do want to see that aspect evolve and grow within Jaden's game, because he's too special, he's too great, he's too awesome of a player. And he can still be hyper mobile. He can still use his athleticism and his talents and still minimize contact like Mahomes has done. Though as of late, Mahomes right now is taking more contact, but he doesn't want to. Like, it's not really his brand of ball, and it will catch up to him. It will catch up to Josh Allen one day. And Lamar Jackson now has gotten a lot better at avoiding some of this contact, and he's now been able to stay healthier over these last couple of years. And he was also kind of having a little bit of an issue staying healthy. So it is something that you kind of have to figure out as the years go on. And the reality is that I think Jaden Daniels is such a gifted passer and sees the field so well and throws with such great anticipation and touch that you could take away his mobility 100%, and he could be a statuesque quarterback like Jared Goff, and he can still carve everyone up. So his ability to succeed in the NFL is not dependent at all on his ability to even just escape pressure, to be mobile, to rip off a run, to rush for 70 some yards or whatever. Like, it's just not. I mean, like, he can carve you up in all the different ways. His ability to run is just a multiplier. It just adds to it, which is very much like Mahomes. That's not necessarily the case for like a Lamar Jackson in that situation, or even a Josh Allen earlier on in his career. And again, for both those quarterbacks, it's changed as the years go on. But for Mahomes, it was kind of more from the jump, just because there was such an emphasis on the passing attack and less so from a mobility standpoint that we've seen with like Lamar, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. That's it right now. I mean, we can name other quarterbacks like Kyler Murray and Justin Fields, but that's kind of an insult to the other quarterbacks. That's why it's like I'm not too concerned. Listen, with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson specifically, like, I do question, once they're beat up and once they've lost their level of mobility, I do question, what will they look like as quarterbacks? I don't really know, because they're both really incredibly gifted passers, but what truly really unleashes them is their physicality and athleticism and speed. I mean, I just don't think that can be denied. I just don't have that same sense with Jaden Daniels. And there's times where I'm like, when I watch a Lamar Jackson or a Josh Allen, there's that moment when you just know, okay, he called hike, they have the ball in their hands, something's about to happen. And there's a big feeling of like, oh man, this quarterback might take off now, and it could be backbreaking. With Patrick Mahomes, when he steps back and there's like that extra second there, you're like, oh man, Travis Kelce's about to be wide open, or Tyreek Hill's about to just go over the top and he's just about to throw a 70-yard touchdown, right? Like, you just have this feeling of like, oh gosh, he's letting it rip to Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, etc., etc. And on a spectrum, I have that feeling more with Jaden Daniels to the Mahomes spectrum than the Lamar or Josh Allen spectrum. Again, it's not to say that those other quarterbacks don't also let it rip, so like, don't get it twisted. But to me, so the more big play abilities that I've seen, it involves like I don't know why I can't keep saying his name, Jaden Daniels. I've been saying everyone's quarterback's name today. I've made a lot of videos. Jaden Daniels it's that feeling of like he's going to carve you up and be a playmaker from the pocket. And that's the part of his game that I want to continue to see evolve and grow and get better and better and better and better as the years go on, because he's already started at such a high floor as a rookie. So yeah, that's why it's like I don't see the Commanders in trouble, even if he's like, has to be a little bit more conservative, has to be kind of smart around the knee. I mean, listen, it doesn't sound like it's like that big of a deal necessarily, but it's still something. It's still something that you kind of linger on a little bit. His knee will probably have some sort of soreness and agitation throughout the rest of the season, right? This is the healthiest you're going to get from preseason onward. It's just, you just don't get healthier. So it is going to be something that'll be a little bit back, in the back of his mind. It's not always the easiest thing to know exactly what he's dealing with and how much swelling and inflammation, soreness. And I always talk about this a lot of times. These types of injuries are more about how you feel after the game, how you sleep, and how you recover, and how quickly the next day you can kind of, maybe normally the next day you'd like to do certain lifts, certain stretches, but now you have to kind of maybe just ride the bike a little bit. You need to do some like non-weight bearing type exercises, like, maybe sleeping is a little bit more irritable and a little bit more uncomfortable than it normally is, and that disrupts your sleep now a little bit. And again, even just post game when you're kind of relaxing and you let your body pretty much just kind of swell up, like there's just more irritation when you're flying on the plane. For those of you who don't know, when you get injuries when you're flying, like it can, just be a lot more uncomfortable depending on the injury itself. And so it's just a lot of times it's all those other little extra things rather than how you truly feel in that moment in the middle of the game, second quarter, 7 minutes to go. So it's just all the other extra headache stuff that you kind of have to deal with potentially. And so it will continue to be on his mind, and how that impacts his play, how they look to manage it and deal with it will be interesting. But yeah, man, I mean, you a lot of times do just want to live to live to see another down, that it doesn't always have to be this play. Sometimes it's okay for it to just be the next play. And it's not giving up, it's not being weak, it's not having the heart of a champion. Like it's just not how it is. It's just being smart. And if it can be good enough for Patrick Mahomes, if it can be good enough for Tom Brady, if it can be good enough for Peyton Manning, it could be good enough for Jaden Daniels. Okay, so we will see how this continues to evolve. But I'm not too concerned. Saying, are the Commanders in trouble? I think that's too strong of a word. Are there some concerns? Are there some irritations dealing with some injuries? Your quarterback is banged up. Yeah, you don't want your quarterback banged up by week 2. Of course not. We would be inventing stuff just to be like, no concerns, nothing matters, it's all good, they'll overcome it. Like, you can believe that they're going to overcome it and they're going to be resilient, but it's like, it's still frustrating, it's still concerning, it's still not something that you want to deal with, and it is still something that the team has to resolve right now. They figure out Jaden's probably not practicing in the ways that he normally would be practicing, and like that matters. They're trying to tighten stuff up. They're trying to correct things and some issues and build some chemistry with Debo, Terry McLaurin, et cetera, in this year. And all of this stuff just ends up being hiccups that you have to try to find a way to navigate. And anytime you have to add extra things to navigate through the season, it's hard, because the NFL season's already hard enough. So anytime you have to add extra things onto your plate, it's a disruption. And it's just something that teams go out of their way to make sure they minimize all of these things at all costs, no matter what it is, whether it's outside noise, whether it's inside locker room drama, whether it's whatever it may be. So anytime these things happen, it's just something that you kind of have to work around. So, but I think the Commanders are more than capable of dealing with it. And you're going up against a Raiders team that hardly looks like that they're ready to just dominate and take over the NFL world. You're at home. I think the Raiders are still feisty, and I think Geno Smith still is a pretty feisty quarterback who can definitely go off in any moment. But it's just not like you're like, oh gosh, now we have to go up against a division rival like the Eagles, or oh man, now we got to go up against pick whatever team you think is a great team, the Bills, the Ravens. Like the Raiders are is clearly a winnable game at home. You know, I'm curious to see how they handle it. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Washington Commanders? Are you concerned? Are they in trouble? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.